What is going on, everybody? My name is Ciara Lawler. Welcome back to another week of Hero or Zero. This is the Heroes for Hire podcast. We are back again talking all the weeks. Nothing, Shaun, you distracted me. Shaun, while I was doing that intro, wrote dicks in the comment section of our Google Meet. You bastard.
Yes, I did. I did it, and I do it again.
It's Friday, Shaun. You got that Friday feeling. You're all about the dicks, right?
Had a hard week. What can I say?
Haven't we all? But Shaun, this is Hero or Zero. What do we do here?
It was the show where we take one comic book character every single week. You normally take DC characters. I normally take Marvel comic book characters, or legends, as we call them. And we just give everyone a bit of a rundown about everything to do with that character. Now, last week was my week, and I picked the character of the Sentry. A character that everyone surely has heard of, Connor, and that will in no way have any negative repercussions.
You see, that's so weird because nobody's heard of him, but that's part of the gig. If you haven't heard,
it's a very good episode.
I can't begin to explain what that character is about. Please go back and listen to it if you haven't. It's a character I knew nothing about. Shaun has introduced me to, and I never want to hear of again. But Shaun, this week I'm doing probably a lesser known character within the DC universe. And
is it Batman?
It's not Batman. It's not Batman. I want to make that clear that it's not Batman. It's a character known as Blue Devil, Shaun.
Right. Are they... It's a stupid question. They're a good guy or a bad guy?
Blue Devil is a good guy. He's named Daniel Patrick Cassidy, and he is a good guy. Now, what is very funny about this is normally when I'm doing research for this show, is that, and you know where I'm going with this, I normally watch like a few YouTube videos, I'll read a few things, I want to put it, because like, even if I've read them in a comic book, there's definitely something that you'd missed, and actually Blue Devil is a character I probably don't know a lot about, and so you do some research. You find from all these different areas, you kind of put it all together, find all the most interesting bits. But I couldn't find anything about Blue Devil in terms of YouTube videos, except for one video from one guy that has 100 views, and it was...
Okay.
It was funny.
You found my video.
You do not want this video. I'm not going to say the video title. All I'll say is all the comments were, you should be ashamed, because halfway through he says, let me just scroll down here, and he clearly just reads the Wikipedia page.
And like... That's part of the research, but it's not the whole. It's not the whole show.
It's like he clicked onto the Wikipedia page and then said, well, fuck on the mic here, I won't give it a read through first.
James, I may record this.
I want to record this first time round. So that's all we're going off of. So it's just a lot more of written information this week. But I'm doing it on Blue Devil, who first appeared in Firestorm Volume 2 in 1984. His creators are Dan Mishkin, Gary Cohn and Paris Cullins, and his name is Daniel Patrick Cassidy, otherwise known as Dan Cassidy. So,
is he Irish by any chance?
He is not Irish.
Interesting.
Dan Cassidy was a special effects wizard, Shaun, and stuntman, whose credits had include The Battle of the Las Vegas Showgirls and Space Ninja. Your favourite movie, you've told me.
Absolutely. Specifically the Space Ninja one. A ninja would not work in space.
I think it would. Sneak around.
I mean,
what colour is space?
How much air is in space?
Yeah, but what colour is space?
It's colourless.
No, black. What's a ninja? I rest my fucking case. You wouldn't see him coming, Shaun.
But he'd be in a spacesuit, Connor.
Yeah, that's true. Black spacesuit. Black ninja spacesuit.
Black tinted helmet. I love it.
Can't see anywhere he's going.
He just runs into the sun.
So he was hired for all these movies when he was hired by his friend, film director Marla Bloom, to create and play the title character in the Werner Bros, which is DC's Warner Bros.
Werner Bros. Herzog, of course.
Of course. He doesn't normally get a mention on Hero Zero.
I know, so often Werner crops up.
a shout out to Herzog. So Werner, he was hired in to do a monster movie titled Blue Devil, Shaun. And
Right.
so Cassidy's specialty was somewhat unusual. Rather than create optical effects that would later be applied in post-production, Cassidy specialised in in-camera, mechanical and cybernetic effects, basically meaning that he would make the suit. So it would be already set. They wouldn't have to add CGI to it afterwards.
And what year was this that this character came about?
1984.
Right, so it was just when they were kind of starting the whole computer-generated movie making.
And he's
thing.
seen as like this great
The trick
bastion.
photography, as we call it.
The old tricky dicky photography, as we call it in the business. But
he's seen as like this practical dude.
he's a legend of like, I don't want to say props, because like he makes literal, like the suits are always just to the nth degree, like the most advanced suits you could possibly make for that film. So you don't have to add
Right.
CGI to it. And to that end, Cassidy created a full body costume for Blue Devil, complete with a powered exoskeleton and built-in pyrotechnic devices.
Seems, and this is not to discredit the art of filmmaking, seems like his skills are kind of wasted, because surely there's like, the military would snap this dude up if he can just build an exoskeleton.
Yeah, he's pretty talented to just be kind of working behind the scenes on a film set.
Yeah, like, look, noble profession and all that. It's great to have a degree in it. But if you could build an exoskeleton
In an
you really
hour.
can write your own checks at that point. Yeah. On a prop maker's budget.
Yeah, imagine what you could do with the military budget, is what you're saying.
Oh, he'd be Iron Man.
Yeah, Cassidy also created a rocket-powered prop trident, which was, among other things, capable of flying, Shaun. So he's now made a trident that can fly.
Right, so he's just casually harnessed flight.
Yeah, just casually.
In between union mandated lunch breaks.
He's super cash about it, but he's having his lunch flying.
Okay, so now he has an exoskeleton suit and a trident that lets him fly.
You're not going to predict what happens next, I will admit. You think you know where I'm going with this, but out of left field comes something batshit.
Okay, can I guess?
Go on.
Does he go to the opera with his parents?
He does. He is Batman.
Nailed it.
He's also
Got it
from
in one.
Krypton. During location filming on the mysterious Isle du Diable, Wayne Tarrant, the hero of the film, and his co-star Sharon Scott, Dan Cassidy's eventual girlfriend, accidentally, and this is my favourite bit, freed a demon.
Oh no. Oh, I couldn't have predicted where it would go.
You couldn't
He
have.
was right.
So they pick up this weird tablet and they put it into this. They go into like this ancient cave. They find this weird tablet. They put it in the wall. They free an ancient demon, Shaun.
Right. And are you about to tell me that this man who is dressed up as a blue devil gets possessed by a devil?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Named,
Thank God.
The demon is called Nibiros. And
Right.
though Cassidy faced incredible odds, he jumped in. He was already in the suit. And so he jumps in to defend his co-stars. And he has basically a near-death experience. He's fighting a fucking demon. He was able to effectively use the devices built into his costume and drive the demon back to its home dimension, Shaun. He defeated
Fuck.
a demon.
Jesus. And then, what, like they break for lunch or what?
Yeah, the union mandate once again said they had to go to catering.
Very good union.
Very good union. The writer's strike in 08 really helped. Really helped them out. Now, unfortunately, during the battle, Shaun, the demon, Nibiros, thought that Blue Devil was an actual demon, and so it fired a demonic energy at him, and like a blast, one of the old classic demonic blasts,
Energy blast. We love to see it.
As it would to a normal demon. But Dan's not a normal demon, Sean. He's just a dude dressed up as a demon. And so Cassidy, after the fight, found that the blast had permanently grafted the Blue Devil costume to his body.
Oh, right. So he's always a superpowered exoskeleton.
Sean, I lied earlier on because Cassidy, a devout Irish Catholic, was stuck in the skin of an unholy Blue Devil.
Love it. Daniel Patrick Cassidy, he had to be fucking
Irish,
made
sense, yeah.
That's mad. That's amazing.
So the suit was grafted to his skin.
But and there was no additional demon powers. It was just that the suit is now part of him.
Well, not yet. Well, yeah, no, the suit is now part of him, yes. Now, one thing you will learn...
simply at the minute.
One thing you will learn about Blue Devil is that he seems to be able to constantly recover from death, which I think is a great skill to have, just in general.
That'd be a great skill that you could share with someone.
If only. So,
moving on to our sponsor...
What is the sponsor?
Skillshare.
Oh, Skillshare. Avoid debt today. Skillshare. While trying to find ways of escaping his costume, he even enlisted the help of Star Labs. The Blue Devil soon found himself involved with conflicts with supervillains, such as Metallo and the Trickster. And look, here's the thing. So he now just has the suit stuck to him. So eventually he's like, okay, well, I'm just going to try and be a hero.
I'm going to make the best of this.
Nibiros the demon, who now had like an affinity for he seen him as like his little brother, would return time and time again to harass the Blue Devil. And just as often, Cassidy would banish him back to his own dimension. Normally with the help of Zatanna or Madame Xanadu or some magician or sorceress who's like, I need your help because I'm just a dude
who knows what they're doing with regards to demons.
Yeah. Cassidy's friend Norm Paxton, a cinematographer, theorised that the blast had made Cassidy a Blue Devil, that had made Cassidy a Blue Devil, had also turned him into a sort of weirdness magnet. So he was attracting just weird demons and shit because that was the energy flowing through him now.
Right, and so all these demons are like, oh, here's something new.
Here's
a
demon.
They all just jump on him. Yeah. Okay, that's a nice way of, writing some comic book situations for him.
Now, though he initially insisted that he was no superhero, it took him little time to adapt to the realities of his existence. And so, while he continued to seek a way to regain a normal life, Cassidy became more comfortable in the role of hero over time, and he even gained a somewhat unwanted sidekick in the form of Kid Devil, who was Marla Bloom's nephew, Eddie Bloomberg, who Marla Bloom was the director, who hired him into the movie in the first place.
Right, okay. And from the Bloomberg Corporation.
From the Bloomberg Corporation, of course.
Of course.
And so that was his introduction as a hero, that he gets basically the demon sticks this suit to him and he's just dressed as a Blue Devil, and he's just like, right, I'm just going to be a hero because all these demons keep attacking me, so I'm just eventually going to just I can't live my normal life.
Yeah, I'm going to start standing up for myself and then I might as well be a hero.
He becomes Danny Phantom. Really, let's be honest.
Now, you've put it in words I can understand.
Thank you. The best opening theme song ever, of course.
So good.
Blue Devil would spend the next few years working with superheroes as diverse as the Creeper. He worked with Superman even, the Omega Men. Later he would also encounter Cain and Abel, who would go on to rent Blue Devil a room in another dimensional house of weirdness. Like, his comic books go into a bit more of demons, other dimensions, because I suppose once you bring demons into his storylines, then you have to admit, okay, there's another dimension with demons, and
he's not fighting the Joker,
and he needs to send them back there.
Fair. Okay, so it's kind of like how Doctor Strange is like the gateway into all that kind of shit in Marvel. It's like Zatanna and Constantine and this, like, they're all on the same kind of universe
Yeah,
side.
exactly. Like the Justice League Dark is brought in to deal with any sort of otherworldly threats. Like, that's what his comic books are about. Like, just weird fucking things that just Superman doesn't want to fight a demon. Just like, oh, we'll just send Blue Devil. He'll sort it out.
Yeah, Superman doesn't want to ruin his streak.
Yeah, he's winning. It's like, I don't want to fight a fucking demon. Those things are fucking tough. And so he was involved in fighting Anti-Monitor during the Crisis on Infinite Earths. But he found that he was attracting less and less weirdness to him and his friends. And he actually, after that, went into semi-retirement as a hero. He did not really publicly participate in anything for another few years, because, to be honest with you, he didn't really want to be a hero, but he had a weirdness magnet, so he just kind of went into it. And then once they stopped attacking him, he was just like, okay, well, I'm just going to go back. I have to keep wearing this suit, I suppose, but I could just kind of retire and just live my life.
Yeah.
So after a several-year period, during which Cassidy's and Marla Bloom's careers suffered a downturn, Blue Devil resolved to help both himself and his good friend, Shaun. So he's like, right, I figured it out. Sensing an opportunity when the Justice League instituted an open-door membership policy, basically granting membership to every superhero on Earth in the comic books.
Right. Great plan.
Yeah, and he was sponsored by the mysterious organisation known as the Arcana. Blue Devil came out of retirement and joined the team in order to make a comeback as a celebrity. So he's now doing it to raise his celebrity status because his career as an actor and Marla Bloom, his best friend's career as a director, had taken a downturn.
Yeah, so he's like, I'm going to use all this fame I have for being a fucking superhero.
Yeah, so though he was only barely tolerated by some of the more serious members of the team, Batman, Cassidy's... Batman, definitely Batman. Cassidy's heart was in the right place, and he embarked on a quest to increase both his powers and his fortune. And so he's kind of in it for the wrong reasons, but also the right reasons, so... It's kind of a weird mix. So, shortly after Blue Devil joined the team, the demon Neron took control of Hell and began seeking souls on Earth. Recognising Cassidy's sense of thwarted ambition, Neron approached him with the chance to be a movie star, Shaun. So, he's like, you could be a movie star. What he's going to do is he's going to... what about it? Ghost Rider him is the thing.
I see. So he's going to make a deal with the devil. You get everything you want in life, but I want your soul. Is that what he's asking for?
And look, Cassidy eagerly accepts the fact that he can be a movie star. He's like, yeah, that's a great idea.
That whole gentle Catholic boy thing they had going on earlier.
Yeah,
that's just out the window now.
Well, now he just wants to be a movie star. His career taking a downturn. And so,
of course,
Cassidy had no way of knowing, however, that the true cost of his bargain would be the death of his close friend Marla Bloom. As after performing a seemingly innocuous task of destroying an automatic electrical substation far in the desert, a chain of events was set in motion that would result in Bloom and her pilot dying in a helicopter accident several miles apart from that. So basically the demon was like, I just want you to do something really small for me. Like, I'll make you a movie star. All I want you to do is I just want you to destroy this like electrical substation in the desert. Like, it's not even near anyone. Like, nobody's going to be harmed.
Yeah. You're not going to kill anyone.
Yeah, and he's like, this is the best deal ever. This is so easy. Yeah, I'll go destroy that. So he destroys it. But the demon, of course, knows that there's going to be a knock-on effect of this goes out, so that means this thing has to work, and then that goes out, and then it leads to her.
So that's powering the radar that the helicopter is using to right itself or some shit like that.
Yeah, so it's comic books, but the idea is that him causing this is a butterfly effect to eventually his best friend dying, so he gets everything he wants. He got his wish. As sympathetic movie offers began to pour in, Shaun.
No, those aren't the offers you want.
He's a movie star. The demon said he'd be a movie star.
Oh, curse that monkey's paw.
Curse you! Guilt-ridden, Cassidy made the ultimate heroic sacrifice. He cheated Neron of his soul, but died in the process. Now, he died at this time, but as I mentioned earlier on, he was soon reincarnated as an actual demon, with an increase in power, Shaun.
Oh, right, so he's just a demon now.
He's just a demon now. And so he comes back to Earth, and Cassidy found himself under threat by the former Justice League member Zoriel. Because of Blue Devil's popularity as a demon, he had unknowingly given hell and demons a better image, prompting others to make their own deals with demons.
Fuck's sake. So because he was like being a good hero and being like, oh, that devil's not so bad, people just started trusting every demon that came up to them.
Yeah, and as a result, Zoriel was tasked with killing Blue Devil and doing away with his bad influence on the populace. However, when Zoriel realised that Blue Devil wanted nothing more than to combat hell, like, he realised, oh, he hates this as well, Zoriel agreed to give him some time to repair his mistakes. And so, Blue Devil, one of his most interesting things is that he walks around with a trident at this time, right? And
that can fly?
No, this is a different trident. So
different trident?
This is actually the trident of Lucifer. And it's his weapon and allows him to find demons on Earth and banish them to hell. Reminds you of somebody else, Shaun.
Some kind of Ghost Rider.
Yeah, and so he had a big comic book run where he goes through Earth banishing demons back to hell because he's Blue Devil. Like, he's an actual Blue Devil going around Earth, and he can sense demons using the trident.
That's ridiculous. That's way cooler.
Isn't that cool?
Because now he's like a hunter kind of a thing. It's like Blade crossed with Ghost Rider.
Yeah, like he travels around the Earth, and Zoriel was going to kill him, and then he realised, oh, like, he hates demons as much as I do. It's just that he's now so cool because he goes around fighting demons constantly that people kind of like him. But he hates them just as much because he spends all of his days, he wakes up, he uses the trident to chase down the next demon, banish that back to hell, move on to the next one, just ridding the world of a demon at a time.
That's actually really cool. That's mad that he's not more prevalent then. Because those sound like interesting stories.
He is very, like, he's a really interesting character, but probably a bit underwritten. Like, there are stories of him, but he doesn't really crop up an awful lot in mainstream, like, proper Justice League. Because he's kind of like a weirdo at the side. Yeah. I suppose, what do you do with a guy who's just a Blue Devil? There was also a story where he was in hell bargaining for his soul with a lawyer, and he briefly resumed his human body with a more powerful exosuit. Cassidy is given back his trident and demonic powers by Jack of Fire, but as a demon with a soul. And have you ever seen the TV show Angel from Buffy? So
no, but I know you like it a lot.
I'm a big fan of Angel. So it's like a weird mixture of like Ghost Rider and Angel, because Angel is like a vampire with a soul, so he understands all the bad shit that's going on and spends his time fighting demons and like killing them to rid them. So that's what Blue Devil does. He just goes around trying to help people for like the demons that they can't see. Where like Superman's fighting Lex Luthor and he's like, yeah, but there's a demon over there killing people.
Demons here.
I'm gonna go deal with that.
That's cool. And so Cassidy is still a good guy, but he gets his powers from being a demon.
Yeah, so he's been turned into a human with an exosuit, and then a demon, and then a human with...
Yeah.
Really depends on the story and how you write him, but I like him more as the demon who, he knows that he used to be a human, but he's now a demon. Yeah.
But he's just a big Blue Devil man.
And he can't change it. That's just what he looks like. Like, he just always stands out. So, in a weird way, he got what he wanted. Like, he's famous. And
everyone knows him.
Everyone knows who he is, but it's because he's the weird demon guy. Like, he's the weird blue demon guy, not because he's like, oh, handsome movie star.
That's mad. That's a really cool, like, where he ended up as to where the character started. As just like, oh, he had a suit and a trident.
Yeah.
Like,
and now
it's more interesting now.
I did cut out a lot of his deaths from this report. Like, he dies and comes back to life at least 4 times.
I imagine there's heaps, yeah.
Because he's in hell. And so once you realise that a character can go to hell, then he can come back. And then you just, like, you can pop between the two. There was one story where, and it's never proven if it's true or not, but there was a character that claimed he had to make a deal that brought his parents back because they were dead, but his parents were in heaven, so he ripped his parents out of heaven to bring them back to Earth, but he didn't realise. He was just like, I want to bring my parents back to life.
But they were happy out. They were in heaven.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, that hurts.
He's constantly like, I'm going to try and do this good thing. Oh, it's got 10 times worse.
Oh, no.
So, in terms of powers and abilities, Shaun, he's got a demonic physiology. His abilities are largely very much like multiplied. He's got superhuman strength, superhuman agility, durability, accelerated healing. He's got enhanced senses, hearing, vision, all that good stuff. Because he was an experienced stuntman, he also has acrobatics when it comes to it. He's got boxing. He was an amateur boxer who retired undefeated in his last 20 fights. He's got martial arts. He's also, of course, got mechanical engineering, gadgetry, because he can make his own suits, even as a demon. So he's like Hulk, but in like Endgame Hulk. Like, he's a big blue demon or devil, just like making these fucking gadgets.
So but he can still do it. It's just like, why would you when you're a demon?
His weaknesses are when he was fused to the suit, he had a weirdness magnet. They worked out that he basically attracted demons and weirdness to him because he gave off an energy.
Just by existing, it would happen.
Yeah, he used to have a reliable. He used to have a reliability on technology as a weakness, but I mean, like, once he became a demon, that kind of went out the way. Yeah. He has, as I mentioned, accelerated healing, I should say. After being grafted to Cassidy's body, the costume became organic and gained the ability to self-repair at an extremely fast rate. So even when it was half suit, it could repair because it was organic, because it was grafted to his body. It was some weird comic logic. Some
demon magic that like made it part of him in every sense, kind of a thing.
He's got infrared night vision, which is pretty good.
Of course he has.
He's amphibious. He can breathe underwater.
Oh.
Which is pretty good.
The trident would come in very handy there.
Yes, he's got flight. Though mostly use his enhanced super leaping. He could also use the trident that has a rocket in it to fly if he wants.
Fair.
He can also use the trident to shoot fire when it was a suit. And I like his transportation is called the Devilmobile, which is basically his Batmobile, and then he has the Trident of Lucifer, which allows him to find demons and banish them back to hell.
That's, I would say, more useful than the Devilmobile.
Yeah. And my last piece of trivia is Daddy's an Irish Catholic and therefore has prayed at times of great need or during Mass. He still burns. However, really, this is why it such reminds me of Angel. He still burns whenever he sets foot on holy ground because he's a demon.
He gets his powers from hell.
Yeah, so he's this like really strong Irish Catholic, but he basically gets burned to death every time he stands on sacred ground.
That's really tough to have to reconcile with.
It's a good character trait, though.
Good character, very interesting motivations there. That's a really like that, but that's like that character in a nutshell. Is that like there's a lot going on there, but no one has ever heard of him. Yeah,
and so like he's famous for being a demon. So he wanted to be a famous movie star, but he's now not. He's just like he's famous because he's a demon. He's also massively religious, but because he's a devil, of course, his religion's like, no, we don't want you. So nobody wants him. He has everything he wanted, but he not in the way that he wanted.
Yeah, it's It's how every kind of deal with the devil ends up. It's that like, technically the contract is fulfilled.
Yeah, and the more I read it, the more I just kept thinking of Angel from Buffy. If anyone hasn't seen that show, then I probably would just say Ghost Rider. It's probably along those same lines. That, as you say, you get what you want, but you definitely don't.
Yeah, like you get what you pay for when you make... We've all made deals with the devil.
We've all been there. We've all been there, Shaun.
I wished for a good friend, and now I have to host a podcast 3 times a week.
I wished for 2 more wishes.
Oh, shit.
He said that's not how it worked, and he killed everyone.
And he killed all the genies out of spite.
Oh, sorry, Will Smith.
Not sorry, Will Smith. Connor, that was a very, very good report, and thank you for sharing it with myself and the listeners.
What you should do is find the video called Lesser Known Heroes on YouTube and listen to the first 5 minutes of that video. Way more interesting, Shaun.
Connor throwing down the gauntlet there.
Lesser Known Heroes, Blue Devil. You listen to that man's video, you give it a like. He needs likes. What a guy.
Or what you do is give him likes, give everyone likes, or you can watch season 1 episode 9 of Swamp Thing, where Blue Devil apparently shows up.
He is in Swamp Thing. I forgot to mention that in my trivia. Yes,
that's fair. Well, look, I did it for you. That's why there's 2 of us on this show.
True.
Connor, would you like me to take us out?
Yes, please.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to this episode of Hero or Zero. We will be back Monday with Movie Mondays, Wednesday with Weird News Wednesday, and next Friday with another episode of Hero or Zero. Big thanks to everyone who supports us over on Patreon. Really do appreciate the support. Everyone over there is an absolute legend. If you want to join those fine people, get access to some movie reviews and such, head on over to patreon.com/heroesforhire podcast. Also linked below is our Twitter @heroesforhirepod. The 4 is the number 4, as I'm sure you know by now. The Facebook is Detective Divilment's Discussion Group or Heroes for Hire Podcast. Instagram is Heroes for Hire Podcast. But the best way you can ever help out the show is by telling one human being that we exist.
Just the one, please.
And I think that's about it, Connor.
I think so. So I have been Ciara Lawler.
I have been Shaun Meehan.
And we shall see you all next week, guys.
Bye.
Oh, bye.